Welcome to the You Heard podcast, your go-to for Miami Hurricanes football. Ben, Joe, Poke, and CB break down recruiting, hot topics, and game day action.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like,
what are we talking about, son?
Get into it. I felt
keeping it a buck.
Let me close these curtains real quick.
You heard. Hey, yo. I see Poke already in the chat. Hey, man, ain't you watching baseball? I need to update as to what miles per pitch means. Only me and Poke know that embarrassing moment. I don't know what I was thinking. It should have been miles per hour. Hope everybody's doing good, man. Riding solo dolo today. My guys are out. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. The show must go on. How's everybody doing? Got 30 people in the chat right now. My dog just left me. We'll see how that goes. What up, Stick Raw? What up, Brian? What up, Freddie Navejas? Hope everybody's doing good, man. What a difference a week makes, right? Last week, all the rumors in the world about our coaches leaving, a certain coach going to the league, another coach possibly going to a conference. You want to say rival? Not necessarily. A team that beat us last year kind of knocked us out of the playoffs, but we'll see. Give me 1 second, guys. We're in it, man. This is live. We're doing it live. How y'all feeling? I told y'all the 90 to 95% sure that Kevin Beard wasn't going anywhere, and he didn't. They don't announce anything because they don't need to. Last year, Coach Dawson was allegedly out of contract. Coach Dawson didn't go nowhere. Y'all didn't get no news clipping, no tweet, no nothing like that about the staff. That's why the Coach Heatherman announcement was so rare, right? Because they usually wait till like the day of. They'll announce it the day of spring ball. Like, oh yeah, we got a DC, even though he's been there since like January of the year before. It's a very different program, man, that we're dealing with now. These are grown-ups. And yes, we're gonna have our issues and our differences of opinion, but that's all right, right? Like, we get to have those opinions as fans, even if they're outlandish and wild and crazy. We get to, you know what I'm saying, have our group chats and have our conversations that that it is what it is. As long as nothing gets crazy, look at it. Kevin Beard ain't going nowhere. This is his staff. These are the receivers that he recruited. I like to say birthed them. You know what I mean? Like, in a way, like these are the guys that he pinpointed. Like, yo, this is the guys that I want to go forward with, as opposed to what last year's highly successful receiving core was guys that were already here, right? Except for the additions of Sam Brown and even a Damian Martinez as a receiver, which, we got to give Damian Martinez his credit. The man caught everything out of the backfield, even though there weren't enough screens, but it's a different conversation for a different day. But how y'all feeling, man? We are 5 days away from spring ball. Kicks off Monday, March 3rd. If you're listening to this after the fact, please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you let a king know how we cook over here, man. We try to bring something different for y'all. And that is a lot of talking in 4 minutes. But yeah, man, Kevin Beard looks like he's staying. Right? No announcements, but they moved on. The positions that he was allegedly up for got filled by a different coach. So this is our staff. This is it, man. We're locked in. A hell of a pickup in Will Harris, but we're in now. Brian, what up, baby? Hope everything's good, man. You know what I'm saying? Hope everything's good. Stick Raw in the building. Poke is probably coaching some ball right now. Appreciate you jumping in. That's my big brother. Older brother. Let's just say older brother. I know he's gonna be like, oh, why I gotta be old? Oh, sorry, you were born before me. That's just the way numbers work. But yeah, man, how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are good on this Wednesday. We will be back tonight. I will be back tonight at 8:00 for the culture. Myself and the return of a GOAT is coming back. It's been a minute. He took some time off, so it's gonna be dope. Yeah, you would think so, Poke, and you make a great point. You would think so, but like we're in a group chat where we tell each other real shit, right? Like we never things that we'll never tweet out. We're gonna overreact because we're emotional, you know what I mean? And emotional people in that moment because we're fans, we're fanatics about this shit, right? Like we bleed this team. Also, I already cussed. Thank you, Poke. You made me do that. We bleed this orange and green, man. So we're always gonna react crazy when the initial thought happens, and then that goes in the text, never on a tweet because why am I going to put that out for public consumption? I don't need to know. I don't need to let people know how crazy my crazy can be with this Cane shit. Even though sometimes I let it out on here. All right, man. Drive safe, my brother. He's headed to practice. My guy's a pitching coach. He does his thing. Also, Poke. I never told you this, but you must be terrifying when you were getting up to the mound and throwing those dots. Fam, it must have been insane. It must have been insane you walking up there. Because I imagine just looking the way you look now, getting up on a mound would have been terrifying. Like, yo, just all right, I won't even swing at nothing. All right. So let's get into some specifics. Right? So, by the way, I have two screens. So if you see me looking to either side, I apologize. It's just I'm saying trying to get my notes in order and all that. So last week the rumor started circulating that Coach Will Harris by somebody who looks like an earthworm. Y'all remember the video game on Sega Genesis, Earthworm Jim? That's just kind of, I'm not gonna say anything, but that's just the vibe I get from that dude is just kind of what he looks like. Dive into the specific rumors. All right, Will Harris allegedly was going to the league. Didn't happen. That's how much he hates Gainesville. Also, should have immediately discarded the rumor from the person who was saying it. Right, it's just like it caught wildfire. I didn't know till after the fact. It's like, I should have already known that's who it was. Like I should have, as soon as I saw the source, I was like, oh, okay, that's not happening. That's how much he hated Gainesville. He went to a rival that he has to face. He's not going to the league. He can go to the league next year. I think that's ultimately for most coaches, that's their dream job, right? That's why they do it. A chance at the league and a chance to eventually become a head coach because they think they could be. I'm gonna get into that comment in a second. But yeah, so Will Harris is locked in. And look, again, no post, no tweet, no trickling of sources through certain shows of this. Look, he's locked in. It was just like just silence. And fam, like we don't talk about that enough. And Pokey, we don't talk about that enough. How this staff, when they don't want news out, you will get no news out, and that's how you get your confirmation. Like if they move on, they'll move on. You know what I mean? They'll have it. They go, wish you the best of luck. But when things get locked in, it is fantastic. Like it is commendable. Let's go with that one. It is commendable how quiet the staff can be and how quiet Coach Cristobal gets his staff and everybody locked in. Like, yo, we're not saying nothing about nothing. You didn't see Kevin Beard tweet nothing out. All you saw was Will Harris. Will Harris kind of silenced it when he was like offering certain corner, you know what I'm saying, defensive backs. Like, yo, man, I'm here. Like, clearly he's not leaving. He's here. And we as fans panic and go into you know what I'm saying, into a spiral and thinking, yo, he's leaving. What about it? Because we do it like I don't want Kevin Beard to leave. Kevin Beard is one of my favorite coaches on the staff. One of my favorite people on the staff as well. Like my interactions with him have always been positive. So I'm gonna go off that. Man is just a good dude. And CB will tell you, just like he's told you before, the way this staff and the way those players react to him is fantastic. And that's, you know what I'm saying, that's not to be shitted away and just been like, oh, we could just turn him, you know what I'm saying, we could just let go of him. No, man, it doesn't work like that. You need continuity, and we have complete continuity on the offensive side. That's why that loss so late would have sucked, would have absolutely sucked. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm not putting that name up there, Joaquin, pero I see you. You know what I mean? I'm just not putting that name because I don't want that name ever being on my screen in any way. But yeah, it's dope. Poke, 60 pounds lighter, brother. I love you. You my big brother for real. That's still a big dude, bro. You're not exactly small, my brother. You're not exactly small. You know what I mean? If you met Poke, the dude is a mountain. Him and Flag, I think, would be like an entire, I'm saying, wall of like a portable in school, just blocking out the sun. Just ridiculously crazy dudes. Those are my guys, man. All right. What impact did that have on recruiting? None. None. Kevin Beard still locking it down. You know what I'm saying? Building relationships with receivers. You saw the offers. You saw the official visit graphics coming out. These guys just, and that's the name of the episode, man. They just move in silence. They don't need to say nothing. Yes, for us, and to silence a lot of narratives, but the narratives are going to run wild anyway. To silence a lot of the talk, it would be cool. But yo, they don't know us anything. Like at the end of the day, they don't owe us anything to talk. Like they don't be like, "Hey, look, Kevin Beer staying." You know, that's unnecessary. My dog, I apologize. My dog knows how to open the door, and he's trying to open my front door. I could hear him trying to open my front door. It's a door handle. It's a whole thing. But yeah, shout out to my guy. Go to get to practice, man. Go teach him how to throw the curve out there. But yeah, man. And the staff in the building doesn't concern themselves. They'll watch and they'll listen to what some fans are saying, but they don't concern themselves enough to have to respond. Because it's really, wow, if you imagine that shit, like you remember that game in like the arcade, everybody here has been to an arcade, remember whack-a-mole? That's what it would turn out, right? Like you keep hitting, and you got, if you try to answer to everything, you're gonna get nowhere. Because you're not gonna get anything done. It's just like, I gotta respond to X-Men 87, 47, 82. You know what I mean? Or so and so Kane, or so and so. You know what I mean? It would be exhausting, bro. It would be. Imagine that. That's why I don't even respond to everybody. And I don't. And even if they tell me, like, all right, cool, I'll see you when I see you, man. Like it's not. It's impossible. And I'm just a lone. You know what I'm saying? A chilling podcaster who does this shit for fun with my brothers, man. Like, and I was able to meet other podcasters. Shout out to Cafecito and Canes, and shout out to Willie Falcone. You know what I mean? Willie Diamonds out there. Shout out to everybody who does this, man. Like we get to have these moments to talk and have real conversations about this team, but it would be exhausting to answer, yo, but Ben, what do you think about this? Or Poke, what do you think about this? Or Joe, what do you think about this? We can't answer everything. And we're on a much smaller scale. Could you imagine having to, what about these rumors? What about, I mean, Coach Cristobal is going to have a conversation with ESPN about Cam, you know what I mean? About how he's going to be the number one pick, how he should be, and then you move on. You don't address anything else because you don't know anybody else, anything. And yes, again, as fans and as content creators, it would be cool to get those moments. But you don't get to tell other people how they're gonna respond to you. We don't have that shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tallahassee Kane, Spo in the building, Star in the building. Hey, 17 minutes in. Y'all make sure to like, share, subscribe. Remember, we're available wherever you get your podcast. If you missed the beginning, you can catch it in the ride, you know what I'm saying, on your way to work. So everybody's good. You know what I mean? Everybody's safe. Don't be watching this while you're driving. It's unnecessary. You can catch it on the back end. Yes, Pope. Let them tell them. Please make sure to hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and we good, man. Get some water, some agua. So, little random tangent. I'm thinking about starting to do like a Spanish episode. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because I'm fluent in Spanish, but I don't know if I could give y'all like 65 minutes of pure Spanish. It will sound real crazy, and it would be mixed of like a mixture of Spanglish in there. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Trying to think of something. Canes en español, it would be. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my Latinos out there. All right. Yeah. Look, with social media, you have to be careful, right? You know what I mean? You have to be careful. Yeah, I mean, sorry. A50 Kane. I know I mean is not your favorite thing, but yeah, I mean it's gonna happen. With social media, you could have a person with 7 followers that gets retweeted out, and then it catches like wildfire, and then it is what it is. That happens, right? That's what social media does. But we're gonna react to the certain rumors, not all of them. You know what I mean? With certain rumors, but not all of them. So then you just understand that a lot of this comes from, for us as Canes fans, because I really don't care about another fan base. Like not a single one. I couldn't tell you 4 players on other teams because I don't care about them. I just don't. That's just not the way I'm built. Like, not just because I don't have the bandwidth for other. I don't care about them. Like this is what I live and breathe. If y'all don't know the story, I learned how to speak English listening to the Canes, man. So This is my blood for real. So with the misinformation and the tweeting out, just understand who the sources are, and immediately, if the person looks like Earthworm Jim, immediately discredit it. Immediately. Like, it. I don't know. For a man to like talk about another man's pockets or his business is wild to me. That's why I tell y'all, and we've kept it a buck with you guys, 221 episodes, and even more than that, we're for the culture. When coaches move, I never take it personally. When players leave, I never take it personally because that's their business. You know what I mean? That's their move. Only certain people know that, Joaquin. You know what I mean? If that's for us old heads, if you play Sega. You know what I'm saying? Like that's if you play Sega, you know what it is. So where was I? So yeah. So you just have to understand that those sources have to be immediately discredited. And look, the KB stuff to Syracuse was had a little bit more smoke, and it got deaded real quick. It got deaded real fast. It was handled. And again, no tweet, no post, no nothing. It just got done. With this concept of reliable sources, it's tough, right? Because from my short experience of doing this show, and you know what I'm saying, talking with the people I speak with, you never know who's being told what to say what. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's certain shows and there's certain, it's the nature of it, right? Like, it's access. Like, even with us, there's things we know that we don't talk about because it's not our story to tell. It's not how we do our show. We're not a breaking news show. We're a fan-based, reactionary, real talk. Always get exactly like when you meet us in person, myself, Joe, Poke, and CB, we're exactly this. There's no character. There's nothing. There's no nicknames here. Well, yeah, nickname here. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not giving y'all my government. But there's no aliases in that sense that like, this isn't who we are. The reason why it's Benny Boondocks, you know what I'm saying, first name, and then I live in the Boondocks. Very simple. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere. You'll never find me type shit. So we just have to understand that you're not going to get the whole story ever from anybody, but just be careful of the sources when they're from rivals. You know what I mean? When that's, oh, so-and-so said this. Like, the people who do this Cane shit, all of them, right, across the board, they're going to give you the best news they can possibly give you without crossing a line or burning you know what I'm saying, I don't want to say informant because that sounds crazy, but like burning a source, you know, because it's the best they can give you. Because if you knew everything, if you knew how the whole sausage is made, it kind of burns you out on information. Like, there's never enough, and there's sometimes too much. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to know every step of, I don't know, Jordan Campbell's recruitment or Cameron Bobby Pruitt's recruitment. They decided what they needed to do what was best for them. The coaches on the defensive side that left, they needed to do what was best for them. It's never taken anything deeper than that because it's not my place to like ever feel some kind of way about that. You get what I'm saying? Is that coming through clear? Let me get some agua in this building. Yo, shout out to Earthworm Jim, man. That was my game back in the day. Like, I played it on Sega. If you guys remember Sega, which by the way, I saw a Sega at a location this past weekend that I might have to get, and the Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo, because I've been fiending to play Duck Hunt. I've been wanting to play Duck Hunt so bad. It's been so long. Listen, this is gonna be a random one. I used to get mad when the the gun wouldn't adjust to the duck. I would put that Nintendo, you know what I'm saying, that the Nintendo blicky right on the screen, like, yo, this duck is going to die. This duck has seen enough because it's ridiculous. It's mocking me now. But shout outs to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to CB in the building. Out here cooking up. All right. Let's get this Caneswear ad. By the way, StreamYard has changed completely. I need to really mess with it because it's got like scenes off to the side. So that's why I'm a little bit all over the place with that. I apologize. Let's get into this Caneswear ad, and we'll talk about spring, man. We're 5 days away.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Brett. Shout out to everybody at Caneswear. If you haven't stopped by there, are you really a Canes fan? Huh? Looking right at the camera. Are you really a Canes fan if you've never been a Caneswear or ordered from Caneswear at caneswear.com? Probably not. Probably not. I'm questioning it. So yeah, smash that like button, man. Appreciate y'all. CB in the building. Matthew Owen in the building. Thank you for showing up, man. Hey, where's CB? 39th minute for Mo. What do you think? 39th minute? Does he pop in? If you know what I'm saying, if we're still here, because we got a double show tonight. We got For the Culture tonight at 8 o'clock. Myself and the return of a GOAT. All right. So what are your biggest questions? And we'll talk about it tonight again. What are your biggest questions heading into spring? Let's go across the board. Rotational offensive linemen, because I feel like we got our first 5. But there's that part of me who's like, I want somebody to take that spot. I want somebody to take that 5th spot. I want somebody to come up and challenge, to be like, yo, it was close, but yeah, you got the left guard, or yeah, you got the right guard. You know what I mean? Like that. I want that kind of competition. There's a reason. Look, there's a reason why I started this show, right? Myself and Joe, besides Joe having always poignant and thoughtful questions, you know what I mean, to challenge people, which I'm always appreciative of. I surround myself with people who are smarter than me in this football shit, like CB, like Poke, like Joe, because I never want to be the strong, you know what I mean? I never want to be that. I'm secure enough to be like, yo, I want people to teach me every time we talk. I want to learn. You know what I mean? That's just the way I am. I want to be challenged. You know what I mean? I picture this shit like our little green tree, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the background. So that's how I view this position group, or any position group. I don't want anybody to ever feel comfortable or feel like they're settled. And that's how I feel across the board, from Francis Manoa to Markel Bell to Arnez. I'm saying Arnez Cooper. I was going to say Arnez. Shout out to Arnez J. Arnez Cooper, anybody. I want everybody to know, yo, your spot could be taken at any moment. Now, Francis Manoa feels locked in. You know what I mean? One of the best offensive linemen we had in a really long time, since the moment he stepped on the field. Still remember the video of him and his brother when they committed. Still remember when he did the commitment video on 247 with his family behind them, and what ended up turning out to be a future Cane in the background. Shout out to Kiko doing his thing at doing all the interviews and stuff for NFL Combine. Shout out to all the Canes at the NFL Combine. You know, doing their thing, giving great interviews. Wish them all the best. I think a lot of them get drafted. I think a lot of them have high upside. And there was a reason why they came here, and they know it. They really upped their game. You know, we got us to 10 wins, man. We poo-poo a lot of shit. I don't know why I said poo-poo and then shit. Doesn't make sense. We talked a lot about our failures, because it's kind of what we focus on as fans. But we won 10 games for the first time in how long? What, 7, 8 years? And we just kind of took that for granted because our defense couldn't communicate on emotion, you know? Not on emotion, on emotion. But, yeah. Look, quarterback, I find it disheartening at times, if I'm being a tad bit introspective, if you'll allow me to. I find it disheartening that we've kind of already moved on from memory. And like the conversations are, and the comments are, and the tweets are, yo, Luke is looking fantastic, which I greatly appreciate. Look, I'm a big Luke Nickel fan, but it leads me to question, like, when I get that information, right, like, does that mean Emery's not throwing with the receivers that are here, even though he's been with them most of, if not all of his career? Is that just Luke leading the practices? This is where my brain goes with this, right? Is it just Luke leading the practices? Is it Joshua Moore leading the pack because he's the only one running routes on one-on-ones? How are they running the practices? These are things that I don't know because we get, so-and-so's looking great in off-season workouts. Okay, but what does that mean? Like, I always want that further, you know what I mean? Like a little bit more, like, what does that mean? Like, we heard a lot about Jadeus Richard 2 years ago. We heard a lot and we didn't see him till like the 7th game or whatever it was. Okay. That's how you know the phones are always listening. I don't know what that was. That was creepy. But you always get like a snippet of the information. Oh, Luke is looking great. All right, does that mean Emery and Judd aren't throwing with the receivers? Are they not? Do they just know that the writing's on the wall? Because you already saw Pete Nakos, which we will have on the show next Wednesday. He's currently at the NFL Combine, already tweeting out that players are jumping in the portal, right? Like, and a couple days before that, he's like, "Yo, tampering is already happening with this spring portal." So before spring ball even kicks off, there was players from big time programs. I don't know necessarily if they're big time players. Already jumping in the portal before it even officially opens at the end of spring. I think it opens the Monday after spring ball or at Sunday night. It's like that weird thing. It's kind of like NBA free agency where it's like opens at midnight, probably opens at like 12:01. So the big time players, will probably have coaches visiting right on the door, knocking right on the door, like, "Hey man, you coming? What we doing? How much you need? NIL's right here. Let's make some things happen." Not sure if that's how it happens, but that's how I imagine it to happen. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy, man. Like seeing those graphics and how that all works out because they're already jumping in. If there's players that are going to jump in the portal from us, which I assume there will be because there's always attrition to any roster. CB hates to hear that because we kind of want to keep all this whole thing together. But if you're the 9th offensive lineman and you have a chance to play somewhere, do you jump? Do you bounce? It happens all the time. Wide receivers. CB, before we even get to the defensive side, wide receivers. Fam, I got all the questions in the world. All the questions in the world about wide receiver. I know, CB. I'm sorry. I got all the questions in the world about wide receiver. We hear JoJo. We hear Joshua Moore. Don't hear much about Chance. What's the deal with that? But again, it's I'm assuming they're like in cleats and t-shirts and shorts. It should be all the way wide open. Sorry, CB. I know he hates hearing this. Like, we had this conversation for hours. But if he leaves, what does it mean about this? Does that coach fail him? Did the player fail? The chicken or the egg type of situation. We don't know. But somebody bouncing. Somebody's bouncing. It's part of the game now. It's part of, somebody's leaving for somebody to come in. And it sucks and I hate it. And you just, like I told y'all, you just got to be a Cane. We're here. You just got to be, there it is. You just got to be a Cane fan, man. That's it. It's even deeper than that because before it was just like, oh, so-and-so player left to sit out a year to go be somewhere else. Now this time they could leave in the spring and start right away. So nothing really changes. Yeah, wide receiver, fam, it's wide open. What was it? Our top 6 pass catchers from last year are gone. That's it. Like our top 6 are starting receivers, Elijah Arroyo. I think you could put Riley Williams in there. He didn't have that many catches, but he played quite a bit. Even had the senior citizen, shout out to him, no disrespect, Ken McCormick, and Damian Martinez caught a bunch, and it's just part of the game now, man. It's going to be a completely new. I want to see. I want to see how Mark Fletcher reacts to getting those passes. How good is he at catching the ball out of the backfield? CB. Yo, I'm going down a hole. I'm going down a rabbit hole here. Is that what separates Jordan Lyle from a Mark Fletcher to get him that number 1 spot? You know what I mean? Like, is that what separates them? I think Jordan Lyle's pass catching, from what I saw from last year, obviously, and Jordan Lyle didn't have an off season. He came in the late summer. He kind of showed a better ability to catch the ball. Mark Fletcher had some fumbling issues for the bigger guy. Hey, listen, this is me just cooking. Yes, I got some things written down on this screen. Shout out to the dual screen. Shout out to the dual mount. Couldn't do this without it. But is that what separates them? I don't know if another show has said it. I don't really listen to other people's shows because I don't ever want you know what I mean, be-sided, you know what I mean, like I got ghostwriters or anything like that. I wanna keep that separated and give y'all my raw, honest opinions. So I got some written over here, some things I kind of want to touch on, and some things that you know what I mean, I might not get to in my save it for the culture. Pilo, I don't know, brother. I don't officially nothing has changed, but it looks like that's the trend that it's going in with other programs. It's a very small venue to begin with because they're doing it on campus again. So who knows what they'll do? How their invites will be? If it's going to be just season ticket holders, if it's open to the public, first come first serve. I have no idea, and the information could already be out there. I just personally haven't looked into it. Kind of been busy doing other things. We have something special dropping tomorrow on the website. CB and the squad know about it. You know what I'm saying? We got some things dropping for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you support. I think we cooked up something really special for you guys on the website, youheardpodcast.com. You know what I'm saying? /merch. So as of right now, Pilo, I don't know if they're gonna let fans attend the game. If they're gonna, for me, yo, like they should let fans attend the game and make it like a fan team building type of thing. You know what I mean? Like get us all together, because that's the one time where like you don't have to worry about rival fans being there and everybody just gets to enjoy it and have a great time with Canes fans being Canes fans and talk about everything, kind of like a great event, kind of like a Canes Fest type thing. I'd be cool if they went in that direction. You know, you got to like meet the players, do signatures, hang out with them. You know what I'm saying? Probably keep Carson Beck in a bubble, make sure his arm's good. Even though I did see that I didn't listen to the show yet. I did see Dono said that he could be throwing in a couple weeks, which I told y'all I have nerves about it till I tell you. The other thought is Carson Beck literally is at a university that owns a hospital, so I think we're good there. So yeah, CB says low key RB is really interesting too. We know 1 and 2, but that third spot is wide open. Wide open. Does Pringle pop? Does Pringle pop? Does Crispin Humphrey have a year under his belt? Does he take that next step and is fully healthy and is ready to go? Because again, that young man is a problem. You don't have 6,000 rushing yards in Dade County. You know what I mean, and be a throwaway. So it's the ticket holders and the fans, first come, first serve. I appreciate you. You already know. Appreciate you, man. That's why I would love to chat, man. Y'all let me know, because I'm locked in with y'all. I'm not doing no Google searching while we're doing this, so you don't hear a bunch of typing when you're listening to this back. All right. So that's running back. Quarterback, pretty much settled. Carson Beck, QB1. Hopefully starts throwing soon. His rehab is hopefully ahead of schedule, and he's, strengthened up, especially after getting that terrifying moment from last week, I think it was, of getting his scar stolen. Hope everybody's good with that, and the whole fan. That's a terrifying experience. But yeah, QB1's kind of settled. But what about QB2? Is it Luke? Does Judd take the next step? The dude is 6'7", right? And then legit, like if you haven't met Judd, had the pleasure of meeting Judd, I'm saying, and think that he's 6'7", 6'8". Like that dude is ridiculous. That dude is crazy. Does he take the next step? Who's QB2? Does the fourth QB bounce because it's year 2 or 3 for that person? How does Emory handle spring? Does he, drop his shoulders and have a bad experience because all the negativity surrounding him because of his performance in the bowl game, or does he challenge himself and take the step like, nah, man, I'm gonna show y'all who I am? Because he can't do that. That's a possibility too. Like, we can't just discard him off one half of football. Have I roasted people in group chats that have been staunch Emory defenders? Of course I have, because they're my friends and it's my freedom to. I have the right to do that. Because you're going to get these jokes, man. It's never anything personal. But how does Emory react? We've never been in that position. I've never taken a snap under center for the University of Miami. Like, that's not 100% of us haven't on here. You know what I'm saying? Not even, like, maybe as a joke, and you know what I'm saying, like for fun when you were at a practice and you were able to do that because you had access. But 100% of us in this chat right now have never taken a snap under center. It's ever like it under in this program. So we don't know what that's like. We don't know how he's gonna react. We don't know his belief in himself. Does he challenge himself to be like, yo, Luke, I see what you're doing, but I'm gonna show you why I've been here for 3 years and 2 years under the same offensive coordinator. I'm not discarding him right away if he believes in himself. From our side, we understand why he would move on and get a fresh start, because the fan base and us can be pretty insane with it, you know what I mean? And pretty disrespectful, like, yo, he's basura, you know what I mean? And things like that. But this young man still is trying to build his dream to make it to the league. So I'm never going to knock him for that, man. You're just not going to hear me have that kind of negativity. Man, we're going to talk about when on Sunday, when the whole squad is here, we're going to really break down and be honest about what we expect to see in spring. And I hope you're right, Pilo. I hope you're right, man. Again, appreciate the comments. Everybody in the chat, we got 73 in here right now. Just listening to me, you know what I'm saying, give y'all my thoughts on this Canes business. We're 5 days out 5 days out from spring. What other questions you guys have? You know what I'm saying? Let me know, and I'll get to some of them before the end of the show and before we go to For the Culture tonight with the return of the GOAT. Yeah, it's just so that's quarterback, running back, offensive line, wide receiver, all the questions in the world. Does JoJo take that step and not have any setbacks like he had last season? Does Nike Hart take a step? Does Chance jump? Does Josh Moore get a real chance as a freshman? Does Josh Moore get a real chance as a freshman to start and cook? Or do we always have to play? And do we always have to play like, no, you got to wait your turn? If he's the best and cooking everybody in practice because he can't run every single route on the route tree, do we have to make him wait? This is me and CB talk about this all the time. You know what I'm saying? My brother CB. When is the rotation of the wide receivers going to happen? It's okay to do it. Like, it doesn't. Maybe that's just how the staff works, and that's fine. But fuck, bro. What? Just 7 wide receivers, rotate them. It's okay, and find out. You have the first 4 games to before you get to ACC play, which is what we've talked about. We really care about, right? We really care about. We have to make the ACC championship this year, and you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, finish 8-0 in the conference. Find out what you have when the lights are on, not just when you're playing 7-on-7s, not just when you're playing cover 2 or the vanilla, you know what I'm saying, vanilla shit in spring at the spring game. Find out what you really have at Notre Dame when they play, not in Miami versus Notre Dame, USF, whoever the third team is, and then Florida. Find out what you have then, so you know who your soldiers are going into ACC, and knowing who your soldiers could be if any of those starting 4 take a, you know what I'm saying, get a knock or anything like that. That's what I'm the most curious of. Or is it just because right now you don't know what you have? You have 0 experience taking a snap for the Hurricanes in this receiver room for real. Ray hasn't seen much. JoJo's seen a couple. Yes, he showed a little, you know what I'm saying, showed some wiggle at the bowl game. Nike Hart, you know what I'm saying, jury's out just for experience. Chance, jury's out, experience. CJ Daniels, cool, but somewhere else, hasn't shown it here. Don't care what he does other places, want to see what he does here. Tight ends, Elijah Lofton, going to cook. Bauman, going to cook. I think Brock Schott has a serious chance to get serious playing time. That's the one position where they've not shied away from playing the young guys. Riley Williams got burned last year. You know what I mean? Elijah Arroyo, when he was healthy, got burned. Riley Williams got burned his freshman year. So they've shown that ability to play the young guys at that position. You know, we'll see. We'll see what Westside said. Heard someone on All 3 talk about Joshua Moore potentially starting. Is he like that? The dude has. When you watch the huddle and you talk to people who know, you know, who watch the tapes and break it down. I know somebody who does breakdowns crazy. This guy right here, CB. Make sure you check out his channel. It's always in the description of every episode we do. That's my little brother. He busts his ass doing this shit for y'all, either talking to the players or breaking down the film, giving you his perspective. So this look, CB says more reminds me of T. Higgins. I think he could be like that. We don't have, besides CJ, we don't have a big receiver, right? A lot of them are kind of tweeners, right? Like low, less, you know what I'm saying, 6'2" or below. So he can do things that the other ones can't. Give him the chance, man. Don't be afraid to throw his ass out there. Like, sink or swim, fam. Like, we got to find out quick because you might be gone in December. We got to find out if you need to up the bag or we're like, hey, man, thank you for your time. You know what I'm saying? Wish you the best in your future endeavors. So it's like that now, immediately. Because there's a ton of receivers in this recruiting class. And CB, one day we'll break down the top 10 receivers on his list, not on anybody else's list, on his list, who is like that. And we'll probably spend 3.5 hours doing it. And we might do like a really long live stream. And that might be the day, CB, that we do the hot wing challenge and die on camera. It might be the day that happens, but we need to do that and really break it down. Yeah, Lofton is so good. He made Riley. If you're Riley, don't you do it too, though? Like, he also wanted to go back home, but he was like, he saw Lofton. He saw it, man. Like, the dude was our starting running back in spring because we had nobody else, which I still think we need another running back. And, I was wrong, CB. I was wrong. I said 38th minute. He's 7 minutes later than that. Shout out to my brother, Mo. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Appreciate you so much, Mo. Hey, you have, and I'm going to say it right, you have a great sense because we talk so much shit in the group chat, bro. It's so dope, man. Hope you're good, man. Hope you're getting home safe. You know what I'm saying? And chilling out and vibing. I was wrong, CB. I thought I was going to call it again. I thought I was going to call it again. I'm kind of upset with myself. But, yeah, man. Just play the... I hope Josh Moore shows up, man. I hope everything we're hearing, but this is the, let me go back to this Pilo. This comment here from Wes. So look, here's the issue with this, Wes. And this is just me because I'm a person who likes to question things. You know what I mean? It's like all we've heard is off-season workouts, and I'm assuming one-on-ones or 7-on-7s that they've done as individual players, right? They haven't had any organized practice because I don't think they're allowed to, yada, yada. They have communications and stuff like that with their coaches, and they cook from there. But I don't know. Young man is talented. I'm not saying he's not. You know what I'm saying? You've watched the huddle. There's nothing he can't do. Big fan of Josh. But shout out to 850 Kane. I'm gonna get to your dono in a minute. But I don't know, man. I that's what we're hearing now, but they're in t-shirt and shorts. And you know what I'm saying? And gloves. Like, they're just tossing the ball around. Maybe he's catching everything, but maybe they're just playing catch. Like, we don't know. We don't know what we're hearing. Look, Jay-Z told me, question religion, question it all. You know what I'm saying? It's the information that you get, just take it all with a grain of salt and see what happens on, you know what I'm saying, the first snap against Notre Dame. Because everything else we're hearing is going to be very limited information, very limited access. So it's all about waiting and seeing. That's all I can do. And that's what we're going to do throughout the offseason. We're going to get hyped up when we get commits. Am I going to get hyped up when I hear that Luke's dropping dimes? 100% or dots. We shouldn't say dimes anymore. Dropping dots all through spring practice. 100%. Am I going to be hyped if Emory goes, I see what y'all doing, but hold this. Wait your time. I would love to see that. I would love to know that Emory's a competitor. You know what I mean? Emory's a gamer. Do we want to move on from him? Of course some fans do. At times I did. But I want to see how he reacts to it. Because he's been hearing this shit. He might listen to the show. And Emory, if you do, it's never anything personal, brother. This is all business. Yes, 850 Kane. Hey, nah, I mean? We're going to say nah, I mean. Do you know what I mean? Is just simply too long to say in a podcast. It is. Is pancakes going to be pancaking or what? And we have legit 9 offensive linemen that could play. Is he going to be one of them? This is the thing I'm talking about, right? Like, is he going to accept the challenge? He could have left this spring. He could have left last spring. He could have left last winter. He could have left what is it? Six transfer windows have happened in the time he's been here. That has to credit him for something, man. He could have taken, and I don't want to say the easy way out because jumping in the transfer portal isn't the easy way out. You still have to go somewhere and show that you got it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of players transfer and don't ever see the light of day. 2 years ago, we had a wide receiver that transferred here, never started. Supposed to run like a 4-1. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be successful. But wanting to stay here to learn, understanding that he didn't come from the highest level of competitive football, and wanted to learn from one of the greatest offensive line coaches in college football now and probably in history, Alex Mirabal. For me, super biased, by the way. Don't care what other offensive line coaches have done. Could care less about them. For me, just how Alex Mirabal moves, you could see. I'm a fan, yo, and I've been a fan when he was at Oregon. I'm a fan when he gave a TED Talk at Columbus, which is available on YouTube. Please check it out. You get to see more of him and like him in a situation where in a scenario where he's comfortable, so you can see how much he loves to teach. Also, go watch Matt Merritt give like a TED Talk on Zoom, just breaking down how he understands and loves, teaching running backs how to play their position. It's just dope. There's information out there if you really want to seek it, where you could find things you're looking for that you didn't even know were out there. Like I'll put the link in on our You Heard apologies on our You Heard Twitter page. I'm gonna call it Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's not ever gonna be X to me. And put it out there so you guys can watch it, man. It's just a dope perspectives and things that are, it was when he was at I don't want to say James Madison. Forget where he was. I can't remember where he was at the time, but he was just talking about how he taught his running backs, or Coach Mirabal talking about like how much and how passionate he is on teaching his linemen, or how passionate he was when he was a teacher. Yeah, man. Shout out to Coach Mirabal. Yo, Mo, appreciate the dono. Shout out to Coach Mirabal. He's a real MVP. That dude's dope, man. Dude's dope. Cody Belair from On3 said, by the way, just to cite my source. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw Cody Belair. Shout out to On3. Again, next Wednesday, we will have Pete Nakos on. That dude is crazy. That dude is everywhere. Young dude is at a NFL Combine. So he'll be back. He'll be on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Really looking forward to that conversation about NIL. So yeah, make sure you tune in. What we got here? 918 King says Pancake could start next year. Hope Mirabal and Mario can convince him to stay. If he thinks about leaving after spring. I don't think he's going, what is it, redshirt, right? So he has 2 years left, 3 years left. I don't think he goes anywhere. Like I don't know about next year, right? I don't even know about spring, if I'm being honest. Because if he's 918, let's be honest. If you're the 9th man in on your 3rd year or 4th year, you might, as a business decision, you might want to move. If he doesn't, that shows a true testament and dedication to being a Cane, and that can't be dismissed. Because there's money out there, and there's, negotiations happening every portal window. I'm sure somebody's in his agent's ear right now, or his parents' ear, like, yo, you can come here and you can get this. He's decided to turn that down every single time. Because schools, they remember what he did. They remember his huddle tape and all those things, and how he was a 5-star. He's pushed that all aside and be like, yo, this is the coach I want to teach me. And that can't be discredited, man. That's dope. As my earpiece is falling out. You know what I'm saying? A little earbud, even though nobody's talking, it's just a habit. But yeah, man. Defensive side of the ball, defensive end rotation. Let's see how that looks. Let's see how that looks for next year. It's probably gonna be Mezzi on the inside, Mezzi and Bain on the outside, Justin Scott, probably David Blay on the inside, rotating with Ahmad Moten. Hopefully, there's some Martavius Jones sightings. Josh Horton is healthy. Juan Manuel, you're something else, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. Hopefully, there's heavy rotation on the defensive ends. I hope the young boys get to play a lot and be involved, and it's not just, you got to rotate defensive line. Linebackers, we'll see what's there. I mean, it feels like Wes is going to be rotated. Is Popo going to get the start? Does Darius Hayes make a jump? Does Kellen Wiley make a jump? How much weight has Cameron Bobby Pruitt put on in the offseason? He was a little light, but that dude was just a playmaker. There's a lot of questions. Secondary, spend the next 87 minutes with y'all trying to figure out how this is going to go. Only coaching staff on the defensive side, all defensive two new defensive back coaches. It feels like 14 new players on that side of the ball alone in that position group, from defensive backs to safeties. Does Avery Lucas play at safety? Does he move at corner? Does he play corner? With now Amari Wallace being healthy, who Joe stated vehemently when he was being recruited and he committed and he signed that was his nickel. Dude's a playmaker. Love that he's healthy, back from a terrible injury in high school. Able to be full go, been full go throughout the all-season workouts. It's a testament. When you get an injury and your rehab, you take it so serious, that shows that you're doing the work when nobody else is watching, right? Like, it goes back to when Willis, right? Willis destroyed his knee. Fam, he destroyed his knee in January, and he was a first-round pick in, what was it, April, right? April, and he started that same season, and he played that same season. That's a true testament. And for Amari Wallace to be ready to go, full go, months after a terrible injury, shows a testament to his dedication. And he shows that just like the guys Scroggins and Hayden Lowe, they showed up ready to take somebody's spot, because nobody's fucking spot should be handed to them or guaranteed. I don't care how much you're paying them. Put that shit to the side. Let the best players play. If it's the kids, play them kids. If it's the older guys, play the older guys. But without the rotation, and I'll go back to wide receiver, without having the rotation at wide receiver, we're completely left with unknowns on that side of the ball. On that position group, we have no idea what we have. We could have absolute ballers. Don't have much tape on them. And that's what spring game should be about. For us to be like, oh, okay, JoJo can catch absolutely everything. Oh, Ray took the next step and he learned every lesson and studied X, from the way he walked to how he found space in zones, to all those different things. All that matters. You know what I mean? All those moments matter. A ton of questions. But for right now, I have none of the answers. That's all I have. We'll be back in an hour for the culture, the return of a GOAT. Appreciate y'all, man. Juan Manuel, A50 Cane, 918 King, Stick Raw. Yeah, you're right. He's got to see the field. But where does he see it? Is he the 7th or 6th offensive lineman? I mean, when they go big, do you put him inside? You know what I mean? As an extra guard? You put him, you know what I mean? Do you have him play an extra tight end when you want to run a sweep? Like, where do you play him? Well, we will find out with Pancake. My brother, nothing happened. Thank you for being super late. This was a conversation that we had a week ago. Thank you, Mo. You know what, man? I love you. You know what I mean? You're a good dude, bro. Allegedly, I'm not even. Listen, man. It was a conversation we had. You can't be a week late, bro. I get a couple minutes. 47 minutes late, I'll give you. A week late is unacceptable, Mo, even by your standards. All right, man. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. I'm saying chopping it up with a GOAT. Appreciate y'all so much. Like, share, subscribe. Remember, we're available wherever you get your podcast. For my guys that aren't here, for CB, for Joe, for Poke. Appreciate y'all, man. As you heard, we out.